We already know that question marks are used to end questions, and that, just like full stops, they end sentences. We also know that speech may be written as direct speech through the use of speech marks, or as indirect or reported speech. Let's now dig a little deeper as we learn how to use question marks with direct and indirect speech. Take, for example, this question that Ben is asking. Is it my turn to play on the computer? If we were to write this as direct speech, we would be writing exactly what he asked, which was a question. So we might write, is it my turn to play on the computer? Asked Ben. Or, Ben asked, is it my turn to play on the computer? In both cases, we keep the question mark, as in both cases, a question is being asked. It's being asked as part of the speech, so the question mark is placed before the closing inverted comma, as part of the quote. Don't get confused with full stops, which can be turned into commas when punctuating speech. You can watch lesson 283 to learn more about this. Okay, so what if we want to write about Ben's question, but using indirect or reported speech? Well, we could write, Ben asked if it was his turn to play on the computer. Notice how there is no question mark here. This is because we have not written an actual question, but rather a statement. We've told the reader what the question was that was asked, but we haven't actually asked the question. Here's another example. This time, Paul is asking a question. What day is it tomorrow? As direct speech, where would the question mark go? It may be tempting to put it at the end of the whole sentence, but this wouldn't be right. Instead, we put it here, at the end of the question that Paul asked, before the inverted comma. In Spanish, question marks are put at the start and end of questions, but this is not the case in English. So how would we rewrite this as indirect speech? Well, we need to remember that indirect speech won't need inverted commas, and that we won't be asking Paul's question, just reporting that it was asked. This would give us something like, Paul asked what day it would be tomorrow. When adding question marks to speech, remember the question mark goes within the inverted commas, at the end of the question that was asked. If we're using indirect speech to report a question that was asked, we don't need to use a question mark.